Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Mr. Bob Yaps. Today we're going to be talking about my cooked sleep schedule and the sleep schedule that I've had over the many years of my life. Kind of give a full life story of my sleep cycles, I guess. Anyways, I apologize. This episode might be a little more stuffed. Because I'm not with my usual setup, and I brought my mouse with me, but it doesn't work, so if you hear this sound, I do apologize. It's trying to do this on a laptop, and also I'm not in the normal world that I usually am playing on. I'm just in this other random world, so yeah, it might be a little laggy as well. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about sleep cycle, because recently, since moving to college, I don't really have like a required routine of like getting up on time at like 6 a.m. to go to school and whatnot. Like, I can kind of just get up whenever I want, and even then, I don't even have to go to classes. It's amazing. Although, not every way, First of all, I just want to say when, I've never really had like a cooked schedule. It's always been like a fairly normal schedule, I would say, growing up. Although, the only time it really got bad was, like, at the very end of my, like, senior year of high school. I got really hooked on the show called Breaking Bad, which, basically, there's at least one day I remember where I literally stayed up all night watching Breaking Bad so badly that the next day, I just didn't go to school because, I hadn't slept yet, and I don't just go to school with like no sleep because then, I was just cooked for that entire day. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna pretend being sick because, usually I at least have some form of sleep, even if it's like, at least like 5 hours minimum to be able to go to school. Anyway, so yeah, for like a week straight I was hooked on Breaking Bad, and that entire week I got like, like 5 or 6 hours, and eventually, what am I doing? I need to mine the stone. Anyways, eventually there was a day where I stayed up all night, and that day I just, I was not functioning at all, and so I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna be sick, because, my parents are the type of parents where they're gonna make me sleep the entire day. If you're sick, which, again, usually I wouldn't do this, they're just gonna make me sleep all day, but it's like, well, that's what I wanted, so I'm gonna do that anyways. Anyways, with that happening, that was just kind of my first time ever having like a cooked schedule when it comes to sleep. But when I finally went to college this year, I finally understood, why everyone has, like cooked schedules, and however, well, not really cooked schedules, just like people tend to be, taking naps all the time as a college student, I feel like. At least that's what I had heard beforehand. So I was like, oh, okay, college students will take naps, but it's like, what are you doing other than like, is it because the classes are too hard? Like, are you spending too much time working on your homework and whatnot? It's like, and no, not really at all, but it's more of a college students staying up late and partying, as I have realized. Although, I'm not really a partier. I mean, look at me, I'm literally recording a Minecraft video right now at like 2 a.m. So, that's, and also, I hate that it's so laggy. I do still apologize. But unfortunately, there's nothing I can do. I've literally installed all the optimization mods. Like this computer, I've already got Sodium and all these other crazy mods that are supposed to help, make it run faster, and it just has not done anything. I think I'm on like 5 chunks right now, and it's not helping really. Anyways, that was really my first experience. Later down the line, since attending college, I have realized, things have gradually gotten worse, because in high school, you're able to just get away with, or like you're required to attend like a schedule or have like a normal schedule because like you have people to rely on, like my siblings and everyone else in my house, my family's house. We'd get up on time, and it kind of sucked because I went to more of a private school, which I still like, but is because of it I had to get up at like 6 a.m. every day, and basically by doing that I'd get up at 6 a.m., get ready, leave by 6:30, get to school by like 7, and then have time to eat breakfast and study for like an hour before going to class. So, that was amazing. Well, it wasn't really amazing. It was like I was more on top of things back then, but now I'm realizing like how did I do that? Get up at 6 a.m. every day, while some nights I would stay up till like, you know, midnight and still be able to get up on time. Like how did I even function by doing that? I don't know. Anyways, back to more of the college experience now. Um, and it's not just me that has had this like terrible schedule, because originally it was just me having like a terrible schedule, because the first time I had it was at least, a few weeks back. I was going to class, everything was great. It was like the first week of the semester. I was attending, going to Silly Week because it's really easy. We basically just go over syllabus. That's the whole thing behind the Silly Week thing. And because of that, I would get a get a good sleep so far. So, the semester is going well and I'm still getting good sleep. Only issue, my roommate is not getting good sleep, and so he's staying up like basically all night and has some kind of freaking reversed schedule. So instead, when everyone else is going to sleep, this man's just getting up for the day, and so he'd have dinner with us and be like, "Oh, good morning, guys. Have I'm having breakfast now," and I'm like, "What? This is so terrible." And so that's going on. I'm like, oh, okay, this is, fine. And like, surely this isn't going to happen to me. Like, I'm not going to fall into this terrible schedule as well. And so the problem is, I start staying up super late and watching Family Guy with him. And, eventually, we're staying up till like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. And I'm like, okay, well, it's 5 a.m. now. I might as well just stay up all night, because then, you know, I'm not getting enough sleep either way, so might as well just take a nap later in the day. And so, yes, I do end up falling into this sleep schedule for like a week, and it really cooked me because, um, let's just say my teachers did not take it lightly towards my grade, and yeah, I just the thing is, it was like the second week of school, so it really hurt my grade because those are like the only grades in the grade book so far. So yeah, that happened. So during that time, I think I was getting up at like, actually there was one day where I just didn't sleep, to be honest. But there were a lot of days there where I was sleeping from like, um basically I'd go to bed at like 6 in the morning, and then I'd wake up at, 6 in the afternoon and go have dinner and completely miss all of my classes and completely ruin, any chance of getting any good grades in any of my classes. But then also that week, because I wasn't attending classes, I just, I didn't care. I didn't hear about any of the assignments. I was like, sure, I'll deal with it later. Surely it wouldn't be that big a deal. And so, yeah, I end up doing that. And, like I said, my grade cooked itself, or well, I should say I cooked it, but whatever. Cooked. Sorry. Anyways, the other thing is, not only did my roommate have cook schedule, but my, I guess, dorm mate also had a cook schedule. And basically, what he would do is he would, instead of, like, even though we'd be up at like 5 a.m., instead he would go to bed at that time, but then still wake up for classes because, he's he's have more of a discipline, I guess, than what I did. And so he would actually go to class then and actually get some decent grades. Although he did tell me once that he fell asleep in class and people were messing with him. So, maybe it's a good thing. I don't know. But by doing that, I think you would just end up sleeping in on the weekends and catching up. And to be honest, both of my roommates still had this schedule, but luckily I think I've fixed mine. I think well, I say I've fixed mine, but then again, I might have recooked my schedule over the weekend, due to right now staying up till like 2 a.m. Whatever, I'm sure it's fine. I'll just go to bed and wake up in the morning and it should be fine. So, anyways, I'm gonna go to sleep now. Um, I wish everyone else the best of getting good sleep. If you clicked on this video thinking that I was gonna give some sleep advice, I wasn't, but I guess I do have a few tips on how to get good sleep. Um, Problem is, a lot of it is just like people being on their phones, or at least I've been on my phone, or like watching TV. It's like you just have to have the discipline to really turn that stuff off. And then the other thing is making sure you get up for bed on time, or get up for bed. Sorry, get up in the morning on time. And the way I try to do that is I'll set like 2 or 3 alarms. Oh my goodness, why are there so many zombies? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Sorry, I'm trying to do a commentary video. Please, please, please. Bro, okay, right-clicking on this computer is so scuffed. Yeah. Anyways, and then the other thing that I was going to mention about getting good sleep is to waking up on time. And like I said, you can set a couple alarms because, like, I have one that'll, like, wake me up, and then 2 repeated. The 2 other ones after that, they're, like, a little bit more close in time period, so that way, um, I have to... Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Is that a firefly? Did they add fireflies to the game? Oh, I think they did. Anyway, sorry. So I'll set those alarms closer in progression. That way it kind of like, it starts to annoy me, and so I like have to get up basically because they're closer in time period. Because the first one is just to like allow me to sleep in and rest my eyes a little bit, and just kind of like be in that waking up stage, and then the other 2 are like more to annoy me to get me up. Anyways, the other thing I do is usually I'll open up the blinds in my room, I'll turn on the lights, and hopefully that's another way to like get you to wake up, because humans are basically built on this idea of like light and dark cycles. So if you just kind of follow that, or lean more into that, that'll work. And also, I've learned that warm lights tend to make you sleepy. So I tend to have that in my living room, which that and plus watching Family Guy. It's just a tip from me. I watch Family Guy and then I'll have some warm lights on, and that puts me to sleep for whatever reason. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time it is, and I'll see you next time. Bye.